Okay, hi everybody. My name is Ms Kostal. Hi. And we're going to be reading a story called The Story of Ferdinand by Munro Leaf. Drawings are by Robert Lawson. Ferdinand is a bull. Do you see him there? What do you know about bulls? I know that they're big, and I wouldn't want anybody to run me over. I actually got to go to the running of the bulls in Pamplona. It was pretty cool, but they run pretty fast and they're pretty big. That's what I know about bulls. Oh, and they hold the little red thing when they run. What do you know about a bull? Let's find out how Ferdinand is different than all the other bulls. Now, you might have seen a movie. They made a movie about Ferdinand, but this book is old. Let me tell you how old it is. You ready? It is from 1936. That's old. Once upon a time in Spain, there was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. All the other little bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. But not Ferdinand. He just liked to sit quietly and smell the flowers. So Ferdinand is not acting like the other bulls. Do you think it's okay that he doesn't want to run and jump like the other bulls? Why or why not? He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in the shade all day and smell the flowers. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip and butt your head, she would say. But Ferdinand would shake his head. I like it better here, where I can just sit quietly and smell the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. You think that's okay? To be different and just sit there and be happy? What do you think? As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very big and strong. Whoa. All the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. What do all the other bulls hope to do? Do you think Ferdinand also wants to be in a bullfight? What clues in the story make you think this? But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit just quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fattest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. Look at these funny guys. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting, leaping and jumping so the men would think they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. You think they're going to pick the other bulls? Ferdinand knew that they weren't going to pick him, and he didn't care. So he went out to his favorite cork tree and sat down. You think they're going to pick him? Why do you think they shouldn't pick him? Is he rough? Is he tough? He's pretty gentle, right? He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on the nice cool grass in the shade, do you know what he did? You might know if you saw the movie. Want to take a guess on what he does? Okay, I'm going to show you. He sat on a bumblebee. Would you want to sit on a bumblebee? What do you think would happen if he sits on the bumblebee? Can you think about it? Oh, I picture something in my head. Well, If you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? You would sting him. And that is what the bee did to Ferdinand. Look at his face. Wow, did it hurt? Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran him on, puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. Okay, can you pretend you were running like a bull? Good job. Now can you pretend you're puffing? How about snorting? Butting with your head. And pawing. Just like that bull. The 5 men saw him, and they all shouted with joy. Here was the largest and fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. Uh-oh. What is going to happen now? Who are they going to pick? When Ferdinand is stung, he does a lot of things that the other bulls do, right? We just went over all the things that he did. What do you think Ferdinand is thinking right now? So they took him away for a bullfight in a cart. You think he wants to go for that bullfight? Uh-oh. What a day it was. Flags were flying. Bands were playing. And all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the banderillos with long, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Uh-oh. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Then came the matador, the proudest of all. He thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Then came the bull. You know who that was, don't you? Who was it? Ferdinand. What is Ferdinand going to do? Think about it. Tell your mom or dad or who's ever at home with you. What do you think Ferdinand's going to do right now? What do you think? They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all the banderillos were afraid of him, and the picadores were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff. Ferdinand ran to the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns out. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers and all the lovely ladies' hair, and he just sat down quietly and smelled. Is he fighting right now? He wouldn't fight and be fierce no matter what they did. He just sat and smelled. And the banderillos were mad, and the picadores were madder, and the matador was so mad he cried because he couldn't show off with his cape and sword. So they had to take Ferdinand home. And for all I know, he's sitting there, still, under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers just quietly. And how do you think Ferdinand is feeling now? He had to go all the way back home, and he's just sitting there smelling the flowers. Did you say happy? Says he is very happy. The end. Did you like that book? I like this book. I think it's pretty neat. When Ferdinand is stung by the bee and acts crazy, why did the men decide to pick him up to be in the bullfight? Do you know the answer to that? Think. We know that Ferdinand is not like other bulls at all. When Ferdinand gets into the bull ring, what does he do instead of fighting? Do you remember? What does he do instead of fighting? Ferdinand is happy to spend his time sitting under a tree and smelling the flowers. Do you think he minds being different? Do you think he cares that he's different than everybody else? I don't think so. I don't think he cares. What does the story of Ferdinand teach you about life? It kind of shows you that it's okay to be yourself because you don't have to do the same thing everybody else does, not all the time. It's okay. All right, so if you can, draw your favorite picture from this book, favorite thing Ferdinand did, and show it to me. And also, I'm not sure where you can watch this movie, but if you'd like to watch this movie, feel free. I'll look it up and see if I can figure out how to watch it. But thank you for listening to the book, and I hope you liked it. Bye.